Hey guys, Nicolas Pajuelo here, back to another video, and welcome back to another video in the DC film review retrospective. Today's DC film, what we'll be reviewing is the entry to the DCEU, Man of Steel. Before this movie was in development hell for rebooting Superman again, this time setting up a cinematic universe. There was originally going to be a sequel to Superman Returns, but after the box office results to Warner Bros. It was received a financial failure, and it didn't have enough money to make a sequel that they were planning to do, and this led to the Superman Returns sequel to be on the shelf and got canned. And later Warner Bros. Rebooted Superman again, with Zack Snyder taking over the director's chair, and therefore Warner Brothers had greenlit it to start production for the reboot. And so it did. The film got made and released in theaters in 2013, where it was a box office success, a financial hit, but it received mixed reviews during its opening week. The film opens up with an obvious retell of Superman's origin story, where blah blah blah. He was sent to Earth. He was sent to Earth and Krypton explodes, blah blah blah. That was basically it. But I do have to mention that General Zod is now arrested and has been vanished. Later after that, we cut to more years later, where we get to see an older Clark Kent. This version of the older Clark Kent, played by Henry Cavill. Looking for more of his true purpose. As he does, he gets to be followed by a journalist by the name of Lois Lane. This version of Lois Lane, played by Amy Adams. As he does, well, blah blah blah. It obviously happens, and he's Kryptonian and all that, and blah blah blah. And you guys already know the origin story. But anyways, yeah, he tests out his suit, and then he flies off. As he does, his adopted mother, Martha Kent, finds out about an old evil force that had tried to take over Krypton, and yada yada yada. General Zod. This version of General Zod, played by Michael Shannon, meeting Lois Lane for the first time and all that, and he even gets to experience some flashbacks and about his teenage years and all that, yada yada yada. Okay, do I have to go through this? Anyways, and Superman is getting guidance from his father, who is basically like a telegram, yada yada yada, and Superman is also saving Lois Lane from some trouble, and yeah, he gets interrogated by some police, by some army men. Lois Lane interviews Superman, and then later the world is in trouble with General Zod. He stops General Zod, and later the army lets him go free. Zod and the others are out to get revenge on Jor-El's son Kal-El, aka Superman, in which Superman is beating the fight, and basically yeah, and after that long distance fight, he kills him, and later he starts yelling like yeah. And then the movie ends with Clark Kent working at the Daily Planet as credits roll. For starters, the positives I have with this film is that the film looks really great. I like the dark and grittier tone, and I also like some moments of the film, like about how the bully in the flashbacks, where Clark was being bullied by that kid. He doesn't know what to say, and then he starts becoming good to him, and then Clark when his powers went out of control a bit, but he helps the others. He just feels like this Superman. If you're probably wondering about why this Superman was just so dark and emo, it's because that well, unlike the other Supermans that were like, oh, happy and cheerleading on, um, this Superman was just wondering to himself if he's a danger to everyone, and so far, and yeah, and should he ever be trusted, and that's what. And that's what basically his character arc is, and I really like about how that character arc is going through. The character arc is pretty amazing. Amy Adams does a really great job with playing Lois Lane, yeah, well, she does an okay job. The visuals are pretty stunning. Zod, he doesn't feel like the villain that I really like. Um, yeah, the actor who plays Michael Shannon as Zod is okay, to say the least, and the film, well, meanwhile, the film does a really great job with some moments. CJ's pretty good. The father mentoring is pretty amazing. I really like that, and I really like about how the father was mentoring Lois Lane. That was pretty awesome, and yeah, uh, and yeah, it's a coming of age story, and I thought that it was a great that it was like that this film was like an okay entry to the DCU. The film does a really great job with the special effects and with the flying effects scenes. The flying scenes are pretty amazing. Probably much better than Superman Returns. And yeah, that's all I got for positives. Now for the negative. Now for the negatives. Oh man, where do I begin? For starters, the story is kind of good at its own moments, but at the same time, it is very forgettable to say the least. I wish that the story could have been done much better instead of like retell. And I wish that they didn't have to retell Superman's origin story because we already know his origin story. There's no need for to retell the origin story, which is very pointless in my opinion. It's just forgettable. Even the Codex subplot is also forgettable, and plus some of that inspirational moments where Jonathan Kent basically, it just didn't feel right. And plus his death was also not that much satisfying. Plot's forgettable, and the death of Jonathan Kent doesn't feel emotional like in the Richard Donner Superman films, and I just felt like that he should have been killed off. And yeah, I felt like that they could have done more with his character, but no. Zod, I felt like that they could have done more. I wish that Michael Shannon could have done much more better. Amy Adams is fine as Lois Lane, but the following and all that and the way about how they met is just very poor. And yeah, I just don't feel like it. I just don't feel like that's cool at all. Yeah, Amy Adams, you might remember her from The Office, by the way. And yeah, the CGI is good, but sometimes like they can like sometimes the action is pretty good, but with the action that is shot in the action is shot and edited very well. The problem that I have with the action is that it just feels like that it just kind of overbores a bit, and it makes me want to put to sleep, or just makes me feel sick, and it makes it look more like a Michael Bay film. I mean, that's a problem that was similar to the Michael Bay films, and yeah. Overall, Man of Steel is just basically just like the Amazing Spider-Man movie, where it retells the origin story, but or it tells like the origin story that we already know of a bland villain that I wish could have done much better with an okay actor, and um and a love interest that I wish that she could have done more. But yeah. And second of all, for Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill does a really great job on playing Superman. The action is pretty good, but the one thing is that sometimes it gets overboring at times, make it looking more like a Michael Bay film. And the CGI, meanwhile, it's pretty good. It is pretty good. It still is pretty good. I don't have any problems with that at all. But I can tell that some of it is CGI a bit. But yeah, at least they did a pretty good job with the flight scenes. The flight scenes are shot and edited very well. The action is pretty good. The action is pretty good. The story is good at moments. It's bad at moments. Yeah, good or bad. And Man of Steel, but Man of Steel is just basically forgettable. With the death of Jonathan Kent not doing really good. But yeah, it's just basically forgettable, and I wish that I could have done a bit more. I give Man of Steel I I give Man of Steel um mm, I give Man of Steel 3 stars, and and I don't know, recommendation. It depends on your taste. I mean, if I would recommend you this film, I would just recommend you to watch it on a sick day, or just watch it on a rainy day, or if you're like bored. And yeah, so that's basically Man of Steel. What you guys think about it? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm Nicolas Pajuelo, and this isn't the last DC film to review, because of course we're in the Joker film and Wonder Woman 84 now.